What's good, YouTubers and YouTubettes? This is JB Sports back again with another one. Soon after, Anthony Joshua stopped Kubrat Pulev in the ninth round in the UK Wembley Arena to retain his WBA, IBF, and WBO titles. His promoter, Eddie Hearn, aka Eddie the Con Artist, came out and said negotiations will begin Monday with Top Rank Boxing to secure a unified title matchup between the WBC champion Tyson Fury versus the three-belt holder Anthony Joshua. And the fight was quickly said to most likely take place in the UK or Saudi Arabia. But now we just got the news yesterday with the UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson saying that the country is on lockdown due to a variant of the coronavirus. So that and the lack of money in the UK to begin with for a fight of that magnitude is going to keep that fight from happening in the UK. Now, everybody assumes since it's not happening in the UK that it will take place in Saudi Arabia. But I don't know about that either. You've got to understand that Bob Arum, Top Rank, a guy that's involved in this negotiation to make this mega fight between these two UK British heavyweights, tried to make a fight between Terrence Bud Crawford and Manny Pac-Man Pacquiao in Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, Saudi Arabia. And he couldn't secure that deal due to the coronavirus. They're not putting on any sporting events there either while this coronavirus is raging on. So where can this fight take place, ladies and gentlemen? In the good old United States of America. I know you're going to say, wait a minute, JB Sports, they're not going to fight in the United States of America. You're crazy. Look at the options if they're going to fight. I'm not 100% that this fight is next anyway. Don't be a bit surprised if you see Anthony Joshua versus Alexander Usyk in Wembley Arena in the UK in April, and you see Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder, fight that takes place in Cowboy Stadium or the Alamo Dome in San Antonio, Texas. One of those two venues. Don't be a bit surprised if that plays out. But I'm here to tell you, though, if them two guys are going to meet up next, if Tyson Fury can get through his legal dispute, his mediation that he's in with Deontay Wilder, and secure that fight with Anthony Joshua, and that's a big if, the fight's going to have to take place in the United States. Because the United States is the only country that are having boxing matches with crowds. Two particular venues, the Alamo Dome in San Antonio, Texas, and AT&T Stadium in Dallas, Texas. Those are the two venues. Now, I heard Eddie Hearn came out a couple of days ago about staging a fight in Arizona. You know, he mentioned Arizona as one of the places that they could host a fight. But we haven't seen a fight since the pandemic there that took place in the state of Arizona. So maybe that fight could be moved to Arizona. You know, put in Arizona. Maybe that's the case. But I'm looking at the two main venues that have hosted multiple fights since this pandemic has raged on throughout this world. And that's being the Alamo Dome in San Antonio, Texas, and AT&T Stadium in Dallas, Texas. So don't be a bit surprised if you see Anthony Joshua versus Tyson Fury. If the fight takes place in the first quarter of 2021, that's going to take place in either the Alamo Dome in San Antonio, Texas, or AT&T Stadium in Dallas, Texas. Or the venue that Eddie Hearn mentioned earlier, a venue in Arizona somewhere. Maybe they can secure whether Phoenix Suns play their basketball games. I think it's called American West Airlines Stadium. Maybe I might be getting that wrong. But I know they got it's called something else. They changed the name a while ago. It's not that name again. It's I think it's got an Indian tribal name to the arena. But it's the home of the Phoenix Suns. Maybe they can put that fight there. Because he staged Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. versus Daniel Jacobs there. So let me put that venue up in the conversation for venues that could host Tyson Fury versus Anthony Joshua. Because right now, again, they cannot put that fight in the UK without a crowd. Eddie Hearn said this a couple of days ago. They cannot put that fight in the UK because the UK don't have the money that's going to satisfy both parties in this particular mega matchup between these UK British stars. It's not happening there. Maybe the second fight can happen there, and that's a maybe. Maybe the second fight. They're going to do a 2-fight deal, maybe the second fight. But the first fight is not happening there. And I've heard nothing from any of the Saudi Arabia officials about hosting any fights since the pandemic. So I mean, it's been quiet on that front. Nobody want to mention that. So don't assume just because it's not going to the UK that it's going to go to Saudi Arabia. It might end up in the United States of America. Eddie Hearn is trying to negotiate a deal with Canelo Alvarez right now as we speak, a 2-fight deal. One fight to be in Mexico against Ivan Yurdaman, his WBC mandatory, and then his next fight will be against Billy Joe Saunders on Cinco de Mayo weekend. And that fight's going to take place in where? United States of America. Most likely in the Alamo Dome in San Antonio, Texas. Because right now, the Dallas Cowboys stadiums, they're doing business exclusively, in my opinion, pretty much with the PBC. And they're the home of Errol Spence Jr. So I kind of rule them out. But they may be an outside chance that Canelo fights there. But I kind of rule them out as a possibility for Canelo, Billy Joe Saunders. More likely, the fight will take place in the same venue that Canelo Alvarez and Callum Smith fight took place. You heard it here, folks. You know, we'll see who's right and who's wrong. Maybe I'm far off, but I'll just, dotting my I's and crossing my T's. And I'm doing like the process of elimination. And I'm seeing the situation we're in right now with this coronavirus and what places have had fights with crowds and what places have not had fights with crowds since this pandemic. And it leads me to believe that if Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury fight takes place in the first quarter of 2021, and again, and that's a big if, because I believe that we have a good and strong chance to see AJ versus Usyk and Fury versus Wilder. But if those two guys do get through these obstacles that they got to get through and end up fighting next in the first quarter of 2021, the fight has no other option or no other place to take place other than the United States of America. In the venues I'm looking at again is the Alamo Dome in San Antonio, Texas. And these are distant second and third here. The AT&T Stadium in Dallas, Texas, and the home of the Phoenix Suns. Chicopee Arena, that's the name of it. Chicopee Arena, the home of the Phoenix Suns in Phoenix, Arizona. So UK British fans, get ready to get on that plane and fly out to Texas or Arizona in the spring of 2021 if you want to see that fight, because the fight won't be in your backyard. I'm here to announce that to you guys and let you guys get ready to understand that that's the more likely scenario for Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury if they indeed fight in the first quarter of 2021. Let me know your thoughts about this particular situation, about where this fight is going to end up and if this fight is going to take place in the first quarter of 2021. Let me know your thoughts. Hit the like button if you like the content of this video. Hit the thumbs up button if you like the content of this video. And subscribe to JB Sports, the man, the myth, the legend. Holla.